Claude, and we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to another episode of the Darling Claude Show. CPPA is what it is. Yeah, people, we've qualified for every living competition, living and breathing in the continent, in England, in Europe, in the Carabao Cup. We have the final this weekend. Me and my brother, Oregon Gunnar, will be talking much about that. People, we are in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Have Arsenal ever known joys like this before? Well, let's see how that is possible. Oregon Gunnar, welcome to the show. How you doing, bro?
But good. Been doing well. I'm excited for this weekend's final. I think City are in the mud. They're in free fall. Panned 5-1 by Real Madrid, my Spanish club, Ala Madrid. So yeah, I'm on cloud nine, bro. The football gods are aligning, and we're bringing justice to the club today. No, big up. Good seeing you, man. Good seeing you. Big up everyone in the chat. Big up, Drew. So yeah, no, I'm on cloud nine right now, bro. I think this team is committed. I think we're ready. I think they're well drilled into what their roles are right now. And you know, we have Ibrichi Eze and they don't. We have Max Dowman and they don't. We have Declan Rice and they don't. We have Gabriel Margalesh and they don't. We have I'm not going to say Saka because he's out of form, but we have a Super Mendy who was a Super Mendy yesterday.
Keep going. Right? Keep going.
We have a Goicones who can put him in the back of the net finally.
Keep going. Keep going.
And we have Mad Ricky who likes to score against Bayern Munich. No, I'm excited, bro. I'm excited. I think we got two hands on the trophy already. But I'm not. I know there's still games to play. We're going to face some tough teams in the quarter. You know, once we get past Sporting, which I think we'll get past, we're going to face the big dogs. But hey, if you want to run with the big dogs, Tony, you got to get off the porch, brother. You got to get off the porch.
Got to get off the porch. Get off the porch.
So I'm pretty gassed up, bro. I was very, very happy for the Bayer Leverkusen game. Complete, controlled, dominant performance, even though that didn't show in the possession stats because we let them have the ball. We let them try and operate. They have one shot, two shots on goal. The defense was on it. Eze, my man of the match. What a rocket that was of a goal. And let me ask you, Tony, and our friends in the chat. Does Odegaard score that goal? Hell no, he doesn't.
Hell nah. Hell nah. And let me make that clear. In no way or in any alternative reality does our captain, Martin Odegaard of this football club, him being fit, him not being fit, him being in awesome form, whatever, he does not score that goal that Eze got
Never.
Today against Bayer Leverkusen. Shout out to Oregon Gunnar in the chat. Big up to my guy, graphics guy, friend of this channel. And CPP, this guy has been tremendous with his help for this channel. No other person than Drew Gunners and my head moderator down here. Big ups to Drew Gunner. Drew Gunner, how are you doing? Hope you're good. He says, bless up, dog. Bless up.
What's up, you guys? Big up, Godfrey.
Reciprocates the gesture. He says, big ups, Drew. And Drew Gunner said something here. Did you see that player get his finger chopped off yesterday during the Liverpool game? That should be no line or something like that. Did you see anything like that? It was nasty, bro.
Did it get stepped on? I didn't see what happened. I saw him getting carried away.
I don't know. I just saw a man crying like a cow, and I was like, "Oh my God, what's happening?" But anyway, it's what it is. Let's go to what concerns us. See, Oregon Gunnar, give me a step-to-step breakdown, step-to-step analysis, of that game. Arsenal versus Bayer Leverkusen at home, bro. Tell us, what did you see?
The fans were up for it, number one. You could hear it. I could hear it through the television screen. The fans were up for it. I think Arteta picked the right lineup, right? And we knew the boys had a job to do. They knew they had a job to do yesterday, right? Or Tuesday, sorry. So I think everyone knew their roles. We knew what was going to happen. I think the substitutes that Arteta picked out were already kind of in some ways predetermined in a way. Like, you're going to come out for this man, you're going to come out for this man in this minute. So I think it was a very controlled performance on Tuesday, which is what we want to see. I don't want to see chaos. I don't want to see us, running around like chickens with their head cut off in transition. What we had was a very calm performance. We knew they were going to dilly-dally on the ball in midfield a bit. We let them do it. We knew they were going to try to push the ball forward a bit through some, medium range, long balls. We let them do it. Right? It was completely controlled. And shout out Big Ben White. I thought he had a decent game as well. I thought the Ben White was solid. Yeah, for sure. I thought Hincapié, bro. Hincapié has to sign the thing. He has to sign the thing. He is phenomenal, bro. Phenomenal left back. And I'm a Kieran Tierney fan. I'm a Kieran Tierney fanboy. Kieran Tierney ain't Hincapié, bro. Kieran Tierney ain't Hincapié. I mean, we're talking a little bit of a different level there, TC. But overall, I thought Zuber-Mendy was superb. I thought Rice did his job. But oh my days, Ibrice Eze, what was he drinking before the game? And it's not just he got possessed by the football demons, bruv. The thing is that it wasn't just a goal, though, Tony. That was a culmination of determination, grit, creativeness, knowing when to pass, knowing when to run through the midfield, knowing when to loop around the winger to cause more space, and when to defend. Right, his defending is what has been his, kind of not his strong suit. In the 2-1 loss to Aston Villa,
he's defending less now.
Yeah,
I saw his hit map, bro, in the past 2-3 games. He's defending less and playing actually more behind the striker. He's playing more behind Victor Gyökeres.
Just helping us out defensively, right? But that helps us out.
It gives him that lease of life to just, roll around and do other things upside the pitch than going back defending. And of course, Declan Rice and Zuber-Mendy were more of in a pivot. In that game. So it's more easier for him as a player, as a forward player, and Tony is playing in that number 10 to run the show from the midfield exactly behind the striker, which is where he's more dangerous, bro.
Right, because there's times where we've given the ball up in our defensive third in that gap that you're talking about, right? If it's Odegaard or if it's I guess if it's Odegaard is the only other one I can think of, he will come back too far, crowding the box, and there's no outlet. But Eze, he comes back just enough to make sure that defensive mid doesn't get the run in outside the box and put one in, So I think that additionally he's figured it out. And again, we can give praise to Arteta to maybe telling him that, but I don't know, bro. I'm starting to think now that the instinctual side of the players is what needs to show. You can give tactics and you can write on whiteboards all day long, but Arteta isn't the one out there. He isn't the one tracking back. He isn't the one being the creative force, right? Eze's 27 years old. He's in the prime of his career. He's no star boy youngster, which I wouldn't even consider soccer that now at 25, right? He's just it's starting to make sense for him now, right? And shame on some of us. I mean, myself at times have been bashing this guy, not doing this or that. But the thing is that he needs games, right? He needs time, and that time he's getting, obviously, with Odegaard being injured. I still think he would be deserving of that. We are far better without Odegaard in the squad. Far better. It's a different. Sure. He's not in there. Aura.
Yeah, I agree. I concur with you.
Exactly. And I just think that Eze just provides that experience, that expertise, right, of knowing where to be, especially in the Prem, right? He's more Prem proven than Odegaard in a way, but I don't want to make this a comparison, right? I don't want to make this the Eze Odegaard comparison show. What I want to, my point is that
bro, we have to make that comparison.
Well, yeah, but I think Odegaard's gone this summer. I sincerely think. I think Eze is taking him out.
Oregon did you notice that there were no city pass backs on the day?
Right.
If it's Odegaard, we're always inclined, always vulnerable, susceptible to always passing the ball back sideways, and then he'll start trying to do the cross turn, and then he'll lose the ball away. But with this one, bro, he wasn't losing the ball in the middle of the park. When he was called to even do any kind of defensive work deeper in midfield, he was always there. His recoveries were also good too. One part of his game people don't really understand is also his recoveries too. He's always leading from the front end, trying to intercept too. He's not a defensive midfielder, but he throws his way around. And again, while he's also throwing his way around, one of the things I've also said is that whenever these opposition players want to throw their weight around him, double up on him in some way, he ends up getting fouled. That free kick, that's another set piece for Arsenal to do something with. So this Asian thing, there's so many layers to his game. It's not that he's just scoring. It's not that he's actually making the ball flow and the game flow with the fluidity and gluing our attack and our midfield together. It's not just that. He's also getting fouls committed on him and giving us the advantage.
Yeah, no, he has come on leaps and bounds, Tony, and it makes you kind of wonder, like, was there a specific reason why Arteta left him out for a string of 4 to 5 games? Maybe there was a slight injury there, right? We don't know. We aren't at training. We aren't in the back rooms. We're not, part of the medical staff. He could have been carrying a slight knock. He could have had a twisted ankle. Who knows what the story is, right? But you tend to think, like, you see those games that he missed. I would like to even research myself the games that he didn't get any minutes. What were the results of those games, right? I don't remember. I think there's probably 2 or 3 wins in there for sure. But I've also wondered if there's a couple games. Yeah, right. So I forget what those games were when I got some time. But I think right now, like Godfrey says, he just loves the kung fu he loves these type of finishes and finishers, right? I think so. Eze is buying into the project, right? Whatever that is. I think the project ended a while ago, but I've got to say that the players are putting this on their shoulders, and that was proven through Bayer Leverkusen, who are no mugs. Let's be real. Leverkusen has lost one, well now 2, but 1 game in 14 matches.
True.
Right.
And they also drew 1-1 against Bayern Munich this last weekend.
Oh, okay. Good. Yeah, good to know, right? So we weren't playing some mugs, right? We weren't playing Wolves. We weren't playing, Bolo Glint, because I think we'd absolutely destroy Bolo Glint. Their run is obviously over. But the thing is that the players are getting into the groove at the right time. Because you and I know, Tony, and our friends in the chat, this is where we drop the ball. This is where we fall off. Right, we're middle of March, right?
Exactly.
No trophy for Arsenal in middle of March.
This is where everything crashes. This is
everything
where we say goodbye.
This
trophy goodbye, domestic, continental, everything. We crash out at this period.
Right, because we didn't have the mentality. But I got to make 2 players though that I think are keeping this mentality going, and that has to be Gabriel and Declan Rice. It has to be. Right, we have to give the armband to one of those 2 players. Saka, fine, you can see it out the rest of the season, but this summer, Declan Rice, Premier League Player of the Season, deserves the armband. And people are saying Bruno Fernandes because of the Declan Rice is the Premier League Player of the Season.
Slow down a bit, Oregon. Oregon's gonna. It's
put the handbrake on.
I mean, Oregon gonna. This is why I missed this show, because most times, I mean, you hit these bumps. Yeah, I mean, you throw bombs, I mean, and they're big, See, Oregon good. Let's bring Declan Rice back into the fray, bro. I mean, man of the match performance. He was given the man of the match,
right?
A gong in that game against Bayer Leverkusen, bro. I mean, what a masterpiece by Declan Rice, bro. I mean, people like me have actually doubted him in some way, in terms of him being the only guy we can use as a defensive midfielder, in terms of him playing a 6 rather than it being a double between him and Zubimendi. But bro, this man is an engine. He can play that 6 role on his own. He can do it all on his own. He can do it as a pivot.
Box to box.
He can be a very controlled 8. Like, most players who are put in that number 8 position are always susceptible to always bumping forward and running forward. But this guy is everywhere. His hit map is everywhere. He's an engine, is a tank, bro. This man is a tank. Yeah. So even on the day, yeah, where him and Martin Zubimendi were manning that CDM role, yeah, as a double pivot, man was still going upscale up the pitch and coming back, yeah, in a controlled, balanced manner. He understands the cadence. If you want him to just bump forward just like that, yeah, like a headless chicken, he can do that. But the way he was doing it, so controlled that even Eze didn't have to even really drop back down to actually get the ball and bring it down forward. The same thing Odegaard always has as an excuse to always drop down deep, get the ball and manufacture something into our transition. No, he nullified all that by creating that balance between that defensive structure in midfield and our attacking transition. And bro, it made Eze's life a little bit more easier. Gave Zubimendi that extra bit of layer in terms of that CDM role. Bro, man is on a roll. If Arsenal scoop this trophy this season, down while looking at the Declan Rice show, in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And there's still we still have 8 games to play. Right. We're still at 7. I'm sorry. I think we're at 31 games and the rest is
we're in 7, bro.
We're at 7 games and we need to win 5. We need to win 5. Right. So
actually, we might not even really need to win 5. We might just need to win 4 because we are 9 points ahead.
Oh, okay. True. Yeah, that's true.
One game in hand.
And we have goal differential.
Again, when they're dropping points to teams like West Ham, dropping points to teams like Nottingham Forest, I mean, this is a relegation battle.
Newcastle, yeah.
I mean, let's get that, bro. Let's get that correctly, bro. And again, by the end of the season, they'll be facing Aston Villa in that final match where they go away from home. The City have been stinky away from home. But it's not just away from home that the problem really is right now. They're also dropping points at home. They drop points to West Ham.
They're too one-dimensional, Tony. They're too one-dimensional. If Holland's not doing Holland things, where are the goals going to come from? Bernardo Silva, red card, Champions League, 20th minute. You know, the meltdown is happening mentally for them. It's happening for Pep. And when the meltdown happens in your manager, that permeates the rest of the squad, right? The meltdown is coming, and if it's not already here. That 5-1 aggregate score by Madrid is embarrassing for City. It's embarrassing for City, bro. You know, Madrid made them look like fools, you know, and that's going to affect, as you know, and our friends in the chat know, that's going to affect the run-in. That's this Madrid aggregate loss is going to affect the run-in. And I don't want to hear people saying, oh, well, they're saving it for the league. No, Pep wants it all. Holland wants it all. Silva wants it all. Diaz wants it all. Rodri wants it all, right? Let's not kid ourselves here. But they're not going to get it, bro. And I think we fucking pound them on Sunday. I'm going to go out and limb and say 3-1, bro. I think we fucking do them Sunday.
Oregon Gooding's going for the jugular.
Yeah, I'm going for the jugular. You have to go for Tony. We just said we have to go for the jugular now. If we don't go for the jugular now, when are we ever going to do it? We're going to have another 4 or 5 years of mediocrity of going out in semifinals and finals because we aren't going for the jugular. Declan Rice is going for the jugular. Gyökeres is going for the jugular. This win over Bayer Leverkusen, great. Sorry, tongue-tied there for a second. Fantastic tie we got. Fantastic draw, right? We're going against Sporting, so I think we can do that, even though they have this, new striker or whatever. They have this and that. I'm not worried about Sporting. I'm not worried about Sporting. Right. So the thing is that the momentum is in our backs now. We have the momentum, and like you said, we have to go for the jugular, no matter who we face. And City are losing control right now. Again, that 5-1 aggregate against Madrid is going to carry them. That dross is going to carry them through the run-in. Big up, Nems.
Especially
I don't see them recovering.
Haaland isn't really scoring goals. Yeah, I mean, Haaland have only scored 5 goals in about 20 games.
About December.
5 goals in about
Yeah, since
20 people. This is shocking, bro. And that includes his goal yesterday,
right.
against Real Madrid. This is shocking, bro. And again, I'm not saying that we should take a piss at
No.
Haaland, but the fact is that City are not scoring goals with the talisman who scores goals in important games for them. And that's a big, big, big -1 for them. The Macronicle targets Odegaard even deep where it hurts. He says, even Gyökeres is now scoring without Odegaard in the team. Makes you wonder. Bro,
Yeah.
Gyökeres has been latching on to some serious goals this season, bro. I mean, man has already increased his goal tally to about 16 now or something like that.
Right.
Bro, what do you think? But again, he had such a controlled performance in that game against Bayer Leverkusen. How did you see it?
Right. I thought he was at times a bit anonymous, but again, when you're not hearing a player mentioned by the commentator over and over and over, that doesn't mean they're not doing any work, bro. Like Gyökeres was doing what he, again, was coached to do, told to do, had a couple of decent opportunities. I mean, one of them would have gone far post if it didn't deflect off the opponent's toe, basically, right? I think that everybody's finding their form right now. When we all know, and our friends in the chat, like I was saying earlier, know that this is the time we've lost form. This is the time where we've started to, stink out the gaff a bit. But now we're getting these important wins and these important points. And it even goes back to Everton. Look at the celebration, not just the Max Dowman celebration, but the overall of knowing that City, I think City had drew the day before or something. I get my weekends mixed up. But, knowing that we were at 10 points, that we were on 10 points and then City played the following day, knowing that we had that 10-point gap, bro, knowing that after that final whistle and that Everton win, that we were 10 points up and City, no matter what they did, would not go more than 7. That's a massive morale booster, bro. That's a massive morale booster, right? So we're hitting all the points that we need to hit at the right time. And again, 3 or 4 times, like this time, we would be crying tears in our beer, right? We'd be like,
and we're doing this without Martin Odegaard. But you know what? Yeah, that's even a lot less further than what Drew Gunners is saying down here. Take a pip at what Drew Gunners is saying down here. Our brother, our guy, he says we're preparing Odegaard's departure this summer. It's time.
Adios, amigo.
Adios, amigo.
Adios. He ain't good enough, bro. He's just simply not good enough for the Premier League. And again, I'm sure he's a nice guy. He's got a beautiful wife and family.
Even off the bench, even as a squad depth.
Yeah. No. We've seen him come off the bench. It slowed things down. We've conceded goals when he's come in. He's simply not good enough for this league. I've said it 1,000 times. Dortmund is his place, bro. Dortmund, he will thrive in the German league. He's probably not even good enough for Bayern Munich.
Even Bayern Munich off the bench, it could be okay.
Possibly. I think Dortmund, he could actually be productive because they're, that's a side that's usually in the top 4 in the Bundesliga, and he's a top 4 type player, bro. He's not a winner, right? He's a journeyman footballer. They won nothing at Real Sociedad. He won nothing at Real Madrid, even though I think it was part of that Champions League, not part of the squad, I believe at the time, but at least part of the mix, right? Or maybe it was a Sociedad already. I don't know. I don't follow this kid's career. But it hasn't worked out. 22-23 was his peak, right? I think he scored 14, 15 goals that season, and the rest has been a complete downfall. You can chart it. Like, there's data, right? He won the Copa del Rey. Thank you. So was that his first year there, Mac? First or second year? Maybe so. But has Sociedad, that's just not a team that really pops, I don't think, on many people's radars as being contenders, especially for the La Liga title every year. I just think that this guy's time is up. And of course, just like right? I mean, he's not getting any younger.
He's got to go. And again, he's our captain. Again, which makes it more murky, makes it more dark. Because, I mean, why wouldn't you be having your captain playing week in, week out in your team? So we don't just have a weak captain in terms of how he plays.
Right.
We don't have a sound leader, with a armband, on his shoulder. He's weak. He can't run. He doesn't have the same intensity like Eze. He's nothing like him.
Right.
He's always
Right.
dropping down deep to get the ball, and even his own manager have disowned him. In that situation by throwing him under the bus and saying, you know what, yeah, I am not the goddamn person that told Odegaard to drop down deep. If Arteta said it, people, it's not AI. I've seen it, bro. He has said it in a press conference. I am not the one telling Martin Odegaard to drop down deep to get the ball. No, it's just his style of play, and that's how he plays. So, we're not going to say, oh, it's Mikel Arteta that's telling to do so. No, Odegaard, you've been aired out by your manager who trusts you so much. He has already opened his mouth and said, you know what, yeah, I'm not the one telling you to drop down deep.
Right.
You are the one dropping down deep to get the ball. So, it's all on you. It's all your fault. And again, if you look at the team now, we've evolved. I mean, see, Oregon Guinea, there's something that comes to mind. There's so many players that have come into this team. However, when they came, we really needed them at that point. But after a couple of years, we just see that Arsenal have evolved past this kind of players. I'll give you an example. When we were playing with Alba, and Alba wasn't really scoring goals at the tail end of its stint, we evolved and moved past him. We moved past someone like an Ozil. We've moved past someone like Zinchenko, who, I mean, his signing was quite good when we felt that, oh, okay, this is something. He's a winner, man. He's bringing in that mentality. But right now, we've moved past him. We've moved past someone like a Gabriel Jesus, even if he's still in the same club. And right now, we're seeing our captain in real time. We moving above, evolving without him even playing or even helping us in this time to change. Do you think we've actually evolved past Odegaard?
Yes, I think we've moved past all those players, like Godfrey says, Gabriel Jesus as well. But I think that's the nature of football too, right? I mean, players, if they're there at your club for 4 years, I think that's a decent run, right? That's a decent run at a club like Arsenal. That's like you're playing, high intense, top level football for 4, maybe 5 straight years, right? But I think you hit a good point. Is that we've evolved because we brought more leaders into the squad, right? Gabriel's developed into more of a leader, right? Because he's really developed into a leader, right? I think we bought him from where? Lille or someplace like that, where he was sort of just kind of Brazilian, not really a well-known defender, and now he's probably the best center back in Europe, if not easily in the top 3, top 4 or 5.
He's the best defender in the world, bro.
There's a case to be made for that.
Bro, yeah. Let's poke it. Yeah, how about that? I think Gabriel is the best defender in the world right now, bro. I mean, I struggle to see a defender more astute, more vicious, more ferocious, more tactically aware, and more powerhouse-minded than Gabriel right now in the continent of Europe. I mean, who comes to your mind right now? We can't say Militao.
No, I mean, you could make a case for maybe someone like Bastoni at Inter. Maybe
it was split open by
yeah, well, I get that. I mean, I'm just throwing names out there of guys that you could. I mean, you could say to a point Ruben Diaz, but I mean, he's been with the city for like 6-7 years, and he's been injured a bit this season. But But if you're talking in the now, I guess you make a good point. I mean, there's no other real name I can think of. It's not that I'm some fucking almanac or encyclopedia of center backs in the world, but I mean. There's no one in the Portuguese league. There's no one in the French league.
Who was near his level. That's insanity, bro. I struggle. Bro, you would struggle to call 3-4 center backs that are on Gabriel's level. Forget Saliba, just Gabriel alone. It would be so difficult for you to scribble out 3 defenders that are above him in world football right now, bro.
Oh, for sure. Like our friend Rookie saying Saliba is the best defender. That's great. If that's his opinion, that's his opinion. I think Gabriel's just a little bit better, but Saliba's still in the conversation, right? He's still in the top 5, top 6, 7 defenders in the world, without a doubt. I just feel like is that we've also, though, Tony, part of the brilliance of this is that we've been able to sign these players to contracts. Right?
Long-term contracts, by the way.
Gabriel's not alone. Like they're starting to see the fruits of their labor starting to come, right? You know, I feel like Gabriel and Saliba, are the foundation right now, right? When you build a house, you got to have your foundation, and then the rest goes up, right? And the rest is getting better, like Declan Rice.
Saliba is our foundation.
No one's talking about the $105 million price tag of Declan Rice anymore. No one.
No one.
Already proven his worth, bro.
Yeah.
And Zubimendi, time will come. It's still his first season, right? As much as I get on these players, and
people
as much as
we're
on the manager,
one of the best midfielders in the league. I mean, bro. I'm not trying to. Yeah, I'm not trying to sound all cocky and squeaky, but come on, bro. I mean, they're putting Declan Rice in that conversation of the best midfielder in the Premier League, bro. I'm not blowing the trumpets, bro, but I mean, that's the word outside. The Oregon Guinea. That's the word outside.
I think he deserves Premier League Player of the Season for sure. And I know people talk about, like I was saying earlier, Bruno Fernandes. I think he's got 16 assists or something like that. Okay. I just, I hear that. And that's, I guess, kind of fair enough. But if you're just counting assists, yay. But overall gameplay and overall, like, really commanding the position number 1 and pushing the team forward. And yeah, you say Van Dijk, Nems, absolutely. Van Dijk's top defender.
Top.
Right.
Top.
For sure. I'm just talking like in the now, right? I mean, Van Dijk has been in Liverpool for quite some time, and he's won.
This season, Van Dijk has been exposed, though. I mean, let's call it spade a spade.
Right.
This season,
every defender gets exposed sometimes, bro. It happens to the best of them. Maldini's been exposed. Lester's been exposed.
He's been defended with his ass this season, bro. Many times. So, I mean,
I didn't say that. Tony said that.
Let's tone that down a bit. Let's tone that down a bit. Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
The best defender in the Premier League as it is, But again, Oregon Guinea, Sporting Lisbon. Arsenal is now in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Big one. Because last season, we went out in the the semi-finals, right?
Right. The PSG, because they went to the final.
Oregon Guinea, do you think we have a straight path to the finals of this competition? Or do you think that Sporting Lisbon will be a bit of a tricky one? Mostly since they've shown that they can overcome such a huge hurdle. Coming back against a resolute team like Bodo Glimt. I know they don't have the glitz and the
heritage
stars in their football club and the heritage, but they've been industrious and they've been ambitious in this Champions League campaign. Look at the scarps they've taken away. Inter Milan, Manchester City. All these teams, they've bundled them away. Even Atletico Madrid, they smacked them up and sent them back to Spain. But this is what I'm talking about here. Bodo Glimt was a very resolute team, and Sporting Lisbon dismembered them, and ran away winning in that game. Now Arsenal have to face familiar foe in the Champions League. What do you think about this Sporting Lisbon challenge, bro? Do you think we're coming to roast, or do you think we have an even chance of smacking them up this season again?
We'll smack them up. We'll smack them up. I wouldn't be surprised if we get the job done on their ground. Be honest. I just think that right now the heart in these players right now wants to win it all. And I'm not saying we're going to win it all, right? I mean, it's a huge asked to say, that Rookie, okay, enough
Big up
opinions
to
with
Ricky
fair enough,
Yoshida.
Rookie. Okay, I
Ricky
get it.
Yoshida. And this is why I'm
He
glad
must be the resident
don't
expert.
listen to
Your opinions. He only deals in
bro,
facts.
let's
I
call
mean,
a
I get
spade,
it.
bro. Oregon, let's call a spade a spade. Man is
Sure.
saying the truth. If Mikel Arteta follows the fans' mouth, yeah, he wouldn't be fielding someone like AJ right now, bro, because we've bad mouthed him this season already. Yeah, I mean, even Gyökeres, bro, to some certain extent, yeah. If we listen to some of the fans who came out to,
Right.
not you, because you were a very big and staunch defender of Gyökeres, to be very fair to Oregon Gunnar. That's
I
why I
thought he
like
would
to
have 16 goals this season, and he's already, I think, hit 16.
Oregon Gunnar. This is the justice I keep talking about. Someone that's saying that, oh no, these guys, they're always demonizing players, but Oregon Gunnar never demonized Gyökeres. It was even a big support system to him. I can confirm that. Bro. Even when there was lots of big, huge pressure, criticism on Gyökeres, this man here stood for Gyökeres. Well, and all of us were all looking at Oregon. This man okay, bro? Are the screws okay?
Takes time.
But Oregon gonna defend it. This guy to the end, and now it's about 16 goals, 16, 17 goals deep in the season, bro. So it is what it is. But again, this is the thing, Rookie, you need to understand, yeah. We are fans and we are emotional beings, and human beings are emotional beings. So therefore, when certain things happen to the football club that we all love, yeah, sometimes we can react badly. And because we are human beings, we have different type of responses and reactions to certain things that are going to happen in the football club. So the same way I'm going to react about a certain player is not the same way another person is going to react. Some people might be more mature in their criticism, but you should also know that we have a whole lot of younger people too, and older people too, that have not seen us win a trophy in about 20 something years. So this becomes a very, very emotionally charged affair with these people. So in other words, you can't just take shots at people who critique the system, who critique the football club in certain things that we do, because we as a football club haven't really been perfect. Mikel Arteta has not been perfect at all.
No,
he has failed in the last 6 years. So I mean, if it's getting the trophies right now, it's damn time. How about that? It's damn time. He spent lots of money. He should be getting the trophies right now.
Right.
That's how I see it.
To say Saliba is the best defender in the world and saying that's not an opinion, that's clearly an opinion. And then saying, oh, I have stats. Well, I have stats too that Gabriel has scored more goals than Saliba, probably has more. I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, again, it is based on opinion, and it's based on what I see and what we see as fans, right? I know saying Oregon will be important next season. That's another opinion. There's no fact in that whatsoever. Bring the stats then. Let me go Google everything and print it out for you. I don't deal in the stats. I deal
but again, that's his own opinion. And I respect what Rookie says.
Yeah, for sure. I respect the opinion.
Saliba is
but don't tell me about these stats and facts. I don't give a shit about any stats or so-called facts that any fan says, right? Big deal. Is it a fact that Gabriel scored more goals than Saliba? Yes.
I hear you, but
I've seen it with my own eyes.
That Saliba is his best, or Saliba is his goal.
Yeah, it's his favorite.
Great opinion. It is what it is, but both of them feed off each other, and this is the thing. They feed off each other, yeah. But again, I'm leaning towards Gabriel than Saliba, because
sure,
I mean, he's a more all-round kind of defender. And again, just when you're looking for leadership, someone to just steer the ship just a little bit, you have to just
And
look
Saliba's
on
not in the
Gabriel.
conversation of getting the armband, right? When we talk about having a captain that's a leader,
Mm.
Saliba's in maybe in that conversation, but not like Gabriel and Rice is.
But not like Gabriel. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
He
come
might be
on.
in that conversation, but he's not he's not in the top echelon of
As
that
long as Rookie's an Arsenal
huge
fan,
conversation.
Rookie's my guy, right? Everybody's an Arsenal fan. Nems, Liverpool fan, my guy, right? Everybody. I'm not trying to like call anyone out, but when you say stuff like Saliba's the best defender in the world, and that you have all these stats, like, like we haven't heard that before from other people. Like other people can't
but wait,
look
at
at
the
stats.
time,
I mean, I just don't get the argument.
Oregon way. But at the time, yeah, we were always saying
Yeah.
that Saliba was the best defender in the world. Do you remember when Gabriel's form was really dwindling, bro?
Yeah, he had his
Remember
bozo
the
moments.
time?
We used to call him out on that as
Yeah,
well.
he had his bozo. Yeah, he had his
You've seen Saliba have his
bozo.
bozo moments. They're still
And
human.
at
They're not
and at that
perfect.
time, Saliba was actually steering the ship even without,
For sure.
even without
Who else is
Gabriel
steering the
pulling
ship
up the
too?
punches.
Mascara steered the ship a bit for us as well, right? So it's a collective. And Tony, I gotta say,
Collective, right?
like we talked about this at the beginning of the season, it's going to take 18 to 22 players to get this done. It's taken
Sure.
Max Dowman, it's taken Mascara, it's taken Norgard, right? It's taken Madwecki, who we did not really rate. We're like, why are we spending Rodrigo money on Madwecki, right? Madwecki, scorcher against Bayern Munich. Madwecki, scorcher against Club Brugge to get us through, right? So some of these players have played the roles that we need them to play to get us to where we need to be, right? Big up Prince Fawad. Hope you're well, buddy. Haven't seen you in a while.
Hey, Prince Fawad.
The Prince is in the building.
Legend, the
Team
Prince.
G14, let's go.
Big up to
GDL,
the Prince.
Recognized Defense
See,
League.
people, Prince. This guy. See, people, I wouldn't be
Yes,
Tony
Prince
Claude.
Zaka.
Yeah? As in my journey as Tony Claude wouldn't be complete.
And that's
Without
true,
this guy.
Godfrey. This is the squad we've been asking for.
It won't be complete without this guy, Prince Forward. When I started my channel, people, he was always coming in. Now he's a little bit more busy.
Legend.
At this time, he hardly does shows. But of course, the family man has to take care of his kids and all that. Everyone here, family men, but of course, some people have it a little bit difficult with timing and all that. His job is a very, very it's a very technical one that it doesn't really give him time to actually come up on screen.
He's a very in demand,
When
demand
when
Prince.
he was at
Saliba is a great
he
player.
always popped on, and again he was someone so positive, bro, and he was really fine.
Yeah, no, you know, at the end of the day, it's for what over the last 2 or 3 years, Arteta Defense League, bro. He's going at it with. I remember watching shows with him and League Gunner just going at it over Arteta.
Just
right?
going at it, bro.
I love those are great times, bro. Those were great times in the YouTube space.
Prince
if Prince Fawad, reach out to Tony. Let's get Prince Fawad on our show if he's got some time.
Yeah.
Let's schedule something. I'd love to talk to Fawad and see what his thoughts are now that we're actually seeing the fruits of all the labor, bro. You know, because this is what Prince Fawad has been saying, bro, since day one. Is that yes, okay, Arteta's not, everybody's ideal manager, but he always has said you must give him time. You must give him time, right? And he's always stood by his word. And now he's, Team G14, Goikarez Defense League. Great to see you again, Prince. And right now, Saliba is a great player, and I'm not trying to knock anyone and their opinions or what stats they read or any of that. I respect that, right? But my own eyes and following this club almost 30 years, I think Gabriel is that much better than Saliba. Saliba is a Rolls Royce. Gabriel is a Bugatti.
But
Saliba is becoming underrated. Possibly.
You know what?
Yeah,
I wouldn't even like to even delve into that conversation because I just feel like two of them,
together are the best.
The same coin. Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, they're on the same coin. Yeah,
I knew you were going to say that, Nems. I knew Nems was going to say that.
And I also hear he says that Saliba also helps tremendously in the build-up play. And again, I'm not removing that, but so does Gabriel. Also helps us to drift a little bit more further into midfield and getting the ball closer when we're making attacking transitions. So I mean, it's on both sides. It's not just Saliba that helps.
It's a great combination of the two.
It's a great combination too. So there are times Saliba is bumping forward with the ball and helping with that build up to you, but also Gabriel also does lots of work off the ball and helps also in the build up play.
Right.
Yeah, so it is what it is. But I'm not gonna pick a side right now, but I'm leaning towards a Gabriel.
Right.
As a more, I want to be careful with what I say.
Don't be careful what you say, Tony. It's a matter of opinion. If you think Gabriel's better, you think he's better. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, as a more complete defender, because he's scoring goals. He's more of a leader. He's leading the shouts most of the time.
Saliba's not as vocal. We know this. We know Saliba is not as vocal.
Saliba is talking more with his performances rather than his vocal cords. So I mean, and again, we all know that there are times where you need a leader to actually use his vocal cords at times, bro. Yeah.
That's we can put this. We can put this like little debate of our center backs to bed. I think we can move on from this. We know how good they are. They've proven it, and we can look at stat sheets all day long. But at the end of the day, our eyes do not deceive us, right? And if you like one over the other, I'm fine with that. And Nems is smoking something saying Saliba's going to Liverpool, but I figured that comment was coming.
What do you expect? Bro, Nems is a Liverpool.
Nems is on the bougie Banton, as Deji would say.
He's just my guy. He's just my friend, my guy. But man is deluded if he thinks that Saliba is leaving this football club and coming to Liverpool to do what? To stink up the place? Why is he going
I think they're going to get Van der Ven, though. I think Van der Ven is a real prospect for Liverpool. I think they're going to get Van der Ven from Spurs. I think that's going to be a done deal this summer. I think Nicky Van der Ven's going to leave Spurs, and I think he's definitely going to one place, and that's Merseyside. And I think they could possibly get Olise for Salah. So anyway, let's move on from that. Right, we have another player to talk about, Tony. And I know it's your show, and I'm not trying to switch gears too much on you.
No.
Max Dowman.
It's our show. It's our show. You can also switch things up and turn things up a notch. No problem, bro. So where do we go? We go to the
we talk Max Dowman. We talk Max Dowman.
Oh, Max Dowman. Oh, my days, bro. I mean, bro, we cannot encroach further into the Carabao Cup final without talking about Max Dowman, bro.
True.
Max Dowman. What a performance the other day when he came on. Unfortunately, we never needed him in the Bayer Leverkusen game, and I clapped for Mikel Arteta for not doing that, because
I agree.
Some managers say, hey, let's just give him some game time. What if he gets injured at the tail end of that game, which was a very highly pressured game for Bayer Leverkusen, and he could come out with an injury. So he protected him in that front. But again, in that final, bro, I want to see Max Dowman, bro. But look into his performance in the last game he played, bro, against Everton. This is what dreams are made of. Sweet 16, bro. Sweet 16.
Yeah, no, he's phenomenal, and I agree 100%. And there was some debates on some shows I was listening to about whether to give him a stardom against Bayern Leverkusen, which I thought was insane. Like you can build up a 16-year-old kid, right, from a great performance. Let's be honest, against a real lower mid-table team at Everton, but still, that doesn't take away the performance. You can only play who's in front of you, right? But to play him in a game like Leverkusen and to keep perpetuating that hype, right? To keep the social medias on fire, to keep the fans keep going Dowman, right? To play him in the games like that, I think the hype would exceed the performance. And what if he was to play a half hour in Leverkusen, not only get injured, but maybe drop a stinker, right? Maybe things wouldn't work out so well, right? And then all that hype that we've been building over Everton, it kind of crumbles for the next 48 hours, right? Because we know this news cycle, especially the football news cycle, is 24/7, 365, right? You can be the man of the hour, and then you're a bum, right? Obviously, that's not going to happen with Dowman. But the fact is, I think you're right, Tony, that you let this hype calm down for a few days, right? You let the Saturday hype calm down. You bring him back down, put his 2 feet on the ground, and then let him let Arteta and him is it Jack Wilshere, if he's even still there, the youth coaches figure out the next plan of action for him, because the injuries can happen at 16. I mean, he was out for 2 months. I think he was out from end of November till mid-January, if I remember anyway. So
Jack Wilshere is the football club. He's now coaching a football club in the championship.
Oh yeah, he's like Norwich or Luton or something like that. So yeah, forget the Jack Wilshere comment. I know, but Jack Wilshere worked with him when he was younger and knew that he was a star, right? So with that said, big up Don C, trying to cook, brother. No, I just think that
conversation.
Right, he is a manager now. I think at Luton or Norwich, if I'm not mistaken. No, so with Max Dowman, right. But here's the thing, Tony. I want to see him in this final. I want to see him cook in the last 20 minutes of the final. I really do. Big up BBK. I really want to see him cook in the final.
BBK is running away from our show because man doesn't want to be accountable. Bro, see, I like accountable brothers, bro. Bro, you have to take responsibility for your statements, bro. We are at the brink of winning this title. We are at the brink of winning the Carabao
I don't know
Cup
what statements you're talking about. I'm going to see my way out of this conversation.
He doesn't want to even do our show. He doesn't even want it.
Yes, he does.
Doesn't even want to spoke.
I'm on with the show with him tomorrow with TJ.
Man is running away.
I doubt BBK's ran away from anything in his life. He's shooting arrows at you, Terrence.
He doesn't want part of this scope.
Oh my God!
Big up to BBK, legend in the house, bro. BBK Sports.
I'm gonna let you and Taryn have that conversation.
Speak up to you, bro. Yeah,
because here's the thing. I don't think BBK or man Terrence ran away from anything in his life. Number one, and number two, if he said something on a show that I missed it, I would have tried to cook him, which would have been a very good cooking because I'm not the chef.
My man hasn't told me, Tony, what's up with our show? Why hasn't man texted me, bro? Bro, he knows because he knows.
That's what
he knows, bro. He knows what I'm talking about.
That's an A and B conversation. I will see my way out of it.
Man hasn't texted me because he knows what's coming. He knows what's coming, and from now to the end of the season, I don't think he would have the cojones to tell me, Tony, when are you gonna come on the show? He's not gonna do that because bro, see, Oregon gonna.
Oh man, it's like Oregon a team deathmatch.
Oregon gonna. This is the thing. By this weekend, we should be scooping the trophy. That's for sure.
We better,
bro. Did you see this? Did you see this Man City team? Really? Is it this pranksters that we're gonna smack them up, bro? It's the clowns, bro. And even Matt Gay, it's not even gonna be there. No. We're gonna massacre these people in a final, bro. And even throw all that away. Yeah, throw all that away, bro. See,
right? I heard something.
Games, we'll win this league, bro. 4 games and a half away from winning the league, bro. Bro, that's a domestic double. Whatever we get in the FA Cup, in which I don't believe that there's any team in that cluster, in the FA Cup right now in the quarterfinals that could expressly say they're gonna smack us up, apart from Liverpool. And I don't even think Liverpool is gonna smack us up. It's going to be a fight.
No, bro. No, right. It's going to be a fight.
Easy. We're looking at a trouble.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're getting Man City in the final at the right time. Because like I said before the show, you just got completely humbled by Real Madrid. All 4 of those English clubs did, bro. Let's be honest. Spurs, Newcastle, Chelsea, completely embarrassed, and Man City completely embarrassed, right? And the City fans can say, "Oh, well, we're trying to do this, we're trying to do that." Really? You're going to give up the Champions League to try and win a league that you're already 9 points behind in with 7 games to go? Make it make sense, And I'm sorry, Tony, but Pep is out this summer. But I don't know who they're going to bring in, so I don't want to go too far into that, right?
That's a big topic, bro. That's a big topic. If there's anything, we know of Pep Guardiola is that kind of guy that has never run away from challenges. In fact,
Sure.
he breathes for these challenges. It's nice that now he's seeing Mikel Arteta do what he's doing. That way, even put more fuel to
Right.
his mind. Pep thinks in a different way. He likes the challenges. He embraces it. He puts it as an emblem in his heart, and he's going to fight for it. So I see him bouncing back next season and trying to scoop most of the titles.
Okay.
Next season.
Perhaps.
That's how
Perhaps.
I see it.
Yeah.
He's not going to
Fair enough.
unless something extraordinary happens to Man City in terms of external factors, like maybe they relegate them to League One, or they relegate them to the Championship, or whatever, which I don't think that's possible regarding their 115 charges, because that's coming up very soon, very soon. We hear it. And look at Chelsea. Chelsea is paying a fine, and they've just been banned with a suspended ban in the transfer window for 1 year. So we never know where these things might encroach.
Right. No, you're right. And yeah, it's kind of off the hook to say, Pep Guardiola is going to be gone. I don't fully believe that, but I think there's something there. But the only,
big up,
I mean,
BK for the donation. Says love to my broski. Big up to you.
Who would City be able to bring in? I mean, City would definitely bring in a Luis Enrique. That would probably be their number one target if Pep was to leave. But again, we're here to talk about us.
Is he ready
we're
to
here to talk
PSG,
about us.
Though?
I'm not worried about
City. Is he ready to leave PSG though?
Say again?
Is Enrique ready to leave PSG though?
No. I mean, he won the treble with him last season, but that doesn't mean that he's ready to bounce out of there and take on Man City without, with 115 charges pending. Probably not the transfer kitty that he would really want, because, they already bought about two good players in January that they didn't spend a whole lot of money for, but how much they pay for Semedo was about 60 million and 30 for 25, 30 for Margay. So they've already spent close to 100 million in January. I don't know. But again, we're here to talk about Arsenal. At this point, Tony, I don't care about City. It's an afterthought. Once we beat them on Sunday, which I'm 80% confident we will, bro. I just think that there's, meaning going back to the Champions League, their fallout with Madrid, I just think that vibe is going to carry through till Sunday. That vibe is going to carry through. They're going to have to think of something different come Sunday, because I think we want this. I think this squad and Arteta as well, but I think even more so, the squad want to lift this trophy on Sunday, and it'll be the wind beneath our wings, like fucking Bette Midler, right? Sailing us to the league, the FA Cup, and hopefully the Champions League, bro. Come June 5th or 6th or somewhere in there. And the only team I'm really fearful of in the Champions League, well, three teams I'm fearful of: Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and PSG. And I'm not afraid of Sporting. Even if we were to draw away, right? We're gonna pound them at home, bro. We're gonna absolutely pound them at home. I'm thinking 4 or 5-0.
See, Dow, I've changed my mind.
Just now?
I've changed my mind. Not now, but in the space of 2 weeks. I've changed my mind about Arsenal winning the Champions League. Yeah.
Do tell. Tell us.
And Oregon gonna. I'm sorry. That's because I'm seeing the level Barcelona is playing, bro. I'm seeing the level at which Bayern Munich is playing, bro.
It's at Atlanta, bro.
I'm seeing the level
Newcastle.
PSG is playing high octane football, bro. Have you seen Vitinha, bro? Man looks like a demon playing, bro.
He is a demon.
He looks like a man possessed.
He is,
bro. Bacola, bro. I'm seeing this high octane football just come out from nowhere, bro.
Has Bacola facing Copier?
Bro. Yeah,
has Bacola facing Copier?
Bro. Champions League is
Chelsea.
For me. Scooping the titles at home, I'm totally okay with that. Yeah, maybe a double, maybe a treble from domestically. Yeah, because the clowns out there.
I would take a domestic treble,
but in the past 1 month, I've seen PSG. I mean, rake up serious stuff in the Champions League. I mean, and I'm seeing this high octane football, and I'm looking at Arsenal right now. I'm saying, can Arsenal actually go bar for bar with this high intensity, high octane kind of football that Bayern Munich and PSG is playing right now? And I'm asking myself that question, and I'm saying maybe we're not just ready for that right now.
Right, Tony. But you have to take the opposition into accordance with the stats and the final results of the games. 8-2 against Chelsea is humbling. It's over 2 legs, right? I mean, Chelsea's defense is a shambles, bro. It's a shambles.
That's true.
Right? It's a shambles.
True,
and
bro.
PSG are a very well-oiled machine, right? But at the same time, so were we, right? And I get what you're saying, right? But this is like, you say that those teams deserve to be there. So do we. Did we get the luck of the draws? Yes. PSG would still beat Bayer Leverkusen. PSG or Barcelona would still beat Sporting. Barcelona would still beat Leverkusen. So it's kind of like, it doesn't really matter what teams you fit in there. It matters how you perform, right? And if we perform against Barcelona like we did against Bayer Leverkusen, even though I know the threat from Barcelona is far, far greater, right? Like you're talking Rafinha, Lewandowski, and I mean, I get it. But they haven't faced Nkapie. I'm sorry, Tony. I take Nkapie over Yamal any day. I don't see Yamal turning Nkapie like a donut, bro. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I know Lamine Yamal, one of the great young talents right now in world football. But I just think
I hear all that.
The mistakes are going to happen, but I don't think those mistakes are going to lead to goals.
With some certain intensity that I just don't think
I get what you're saying.
Handle. Bro, I'm
exactly, Guffey. Exactly. The high line Newcastle fit on it.
Yeah, we can talk about the Barcelona high line, but we can also talk about us too when we are defending to some points. We're kind of vulnerable at times when we go off pitch at times, bro.
I just don't think none of these teams think about it. I know. I get what you're saying, Tony. I get what you're saying, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the thing is, Barcelona aren't facing squads on a weekend basis against players like Declan Rice, right? They're not facing the Sakas. They're not facing some of the Trossards. You could say La Liga. I mean, I'm not going to say it's a farmers league by any means, but they're not facing that sort of talent, bro. Right? And we're not Newcastle. Newcastle are not that good.
Bro, again, I hear you.
Dan Burn.
Just looking in the last 2-3 weeks, I'm just looking at the high octane football.
I get it.
Playing. I'm looking at the way
PSG are kind of scary.
Bro, the way Bayern Munich are playing, bro, at such a high level, bro.
It's at Atlanta. It's at Atlanta. We could have probably done the same thing if it's at Atlanta or Bayer Leverkusen. It wouldn't have mattered to us either. Maybe we wouldn't have put 7-8 goals on them, but I think we would have put 3 or 4. And I don't see them scoring against us at the Emirates.
I looked at them like at the start of the Champions League, bro. No, sincerely, they're not like the clowns I thought they were. At the start of the Champions League.
None of those teams are.
Last season, bro. I thought this were bombs. But, I mean, looking at it right now, with how PSG have stepped up, bro.
Yeah.
With how Bayern Munich have stepped up, with Lamine Yamal looking this dangerous, bro.
Rafinha. Rafinha's world class.
Bro, we've never talked about Rafinha in that conversation.
I'm telling you, if they're going to score goals, it's going to be him. But they're going to find it. But their midfield isn't that strong. Their midfield isn't that strong. They don't have machines in there. Like you can say Pedri, yeah, he's decent attacking mid, but if he gets knocked off the ball, we're on the counter. There's no one. They could have 19-20-year-old Fermin or whatever his name is. I forget who their defensive mid is, but I know it's not someone that.
Fermin is also scoring goals too. He's scoring goals
against Newcastle.
Scoring goals.
Against Newcastle and Getafe. Big deal. Right. But also and another team we can't leave out of the mix is Liverpool. We cannot leave Liverpool out of the mix, bro.
Yeah, there's still
No
that
way.
liquid thing, right?
A Arsenal Liverpool final, that's a stinky 1-1 into penalties. Let's be honest. Right?
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, and you're right. We gotta I think you're correct in that we need to take a deep breath with the Champions League. Look at this competition, right? We have no heritage in this competition.
Yeah.
Barcelona do, Bayern Munich do, PSG not really until last season, I don't believe. I don't think they've ever won it until last season. Right? I think last season was their first Champions League win. The club has been around since 1970, Tony. They have a 50-year history. Right? So right. And Godfrey said, old man Lewandowski, but Godfrey, on any given day, Lewandowski is a killer. Rafinha is a killer. Right?
Yeah.
These guys are killers. Pedri can be a killer too, but Pedri doesn't face a Declan Rice. He doesn't always face a Gabriel and a Saliba. Yeah. They don't always face a Timber and Hincapié.
And that's
I think Hincapié. That's where 100%. Well said. That's where the hope lies, is that we can defend with strength and hit these teams on the counter, because they are pants on the counter, bro. Barcelona is crap. Newcastle showed that. Alongo with the brace.
But again, yeah.
PSG I said Barcelona.
PSG are no pants in the counter attack.
No, I said Barcelona. I said Barcelona.
And they've beaten us before. So if we
face
the PSG, we might be facing them more into. So again, it's confusing, bro. Even a band.
This is why it's the greatest competition in the world. I like the Champions League better than the World Cup, bro. The World Cup doesn't even come close to me for the Champions League, bro. Not even close. It's top two in Europe. They can beat us. They can beat us, Mac. Yes, they can. But I just think that when they run into our defense, Mac, and that tiki-taki doesn't work out, and we can get the ball to Declan Rice on a counter, and Eze makes a run, Gorkrez does something good. I'm not going to mention Saka because we don't know what we're going to get. I just think that on the counter, Mac, they can be gotten at.
I mean,
Newcastle just proved it. Newcastle proved the formula. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we still get it. I mean, we get the second leg at home, right? We get all the second legs are at the Emirates. It's going to be tough, and this is what it's all about, right? And to prove yourself, you have to compete. I'm not going to say beat. You have to compete with some of these teams. We could beat Barcelona on an extremely stinky 1-0. They could beat us on a very stinky 1-0, 2-1, right? Those close score lines. They are a top two in Europe. I get that, but Man City showed that they're one of the top attacking towns, and they just got fucking panned by Madrid. Bro, Valverde just absolutely scorched them the other week.
Oh my days! Even bro, I've been talking about PSG, Bayern Munich, and Barcelona.
We're not mentioning Madrid,
the darlings of the UEFA Champions League, Real Madrid.
Right.
Look at what
there you go. Extreme Champions League heritage, right? Extreme, winning the most in the history. But I feel on our day we can beat any of those teams on our day. Right? If we don't play well, we will get beat. But if we play well enough to compete and at least expose some of the weaknesses that these teams have, we'll win. We exposed Bayern Munich, right? We beat them 3-1. I thought we were going to stink the place out and lose 2-1, but we went on to put on a performance. And I just think that, and the Champions League, of course, comes after the league is done, the FA Cup is done, right? And I do think we're winning both of those. I truly do believe that, and I hate to even call myself a believer, but I just, the three domestic cups are absolutely winnable for us this season. If we keep the mentality up here, guys, if we keep it up here, none of this bullshit. Oh, look what we did. Oh, we just won 2-1. No, it's about the mentality, bro. And shout out Lee Gunner, right? I just think that there's a lot of results that have to go our way too, right? I mean, I don't know the ties specifically in the Champions League of who's playing who, but we got the easier tie with Sporting, like no doubt, right? Any of those other teams would relish having Sporting.
It won't be as easy as we're looking at it, bro.
I think Sporting will be easy.
Structure, bro, coming up, bro.
I think if we do a Leverkusen 1-1 there and come back and pound them 4-0, I'll be happy with that. I don't expect big things in these away games. Those, I think, will be the tough matches when we have to go to Camp Nou or have to go to PSG Stadium, which the name kind of can't remember the name off the top of my head. If we have to go to Bernabeu, right? Those will be the tough matches. But at home, I think we can beat anybody, and it'll be up to Arteta and the boys to exploit those weaknesses, bro. Which we can do. And like Godfrey says, we ain't Newcastle, bro. we are not Newcastle.
People, I'm already running late for the next show, which is with Josh coming up exactly immediately after this one. But I'll just round up with Oregon Gunner down here. He says, and of course, Ace says Deji was shameless last night after beating Atletico. Yeah, he's a shameless.
Their first win in
Godfrey says, I think we can beat in a way. They like to play football, unlike
that's true. It's a little more open.
Yeah, and of course, Ace says, not so I told Deji he getting cooked on nutmeg rush.
Celebrating a win, but getting knocked out of the competition. Beautiful.
Nutmeg show. So Oregon gonna jump before I go because I have a show with Josh coming up immediately after the show. So people, make sure you join me for the next show, which is coming up exactly right about now. Oregon gonna predictions for our final on Sunday, my bro. You should be buzzing, and Oregon gonna. I want to have the honor of doing a post-game show with you.
Let's do Sunday. It. Yeah, set it up. Let's do it. I'm going to predict 3-1. I think City are kind of a bit in a free fall right now, and I think that Madrid getting knocked out of the Champions League by Madrid is going to affect the mentality of the players coming up this weekend. They'll be up to win it as well because City will have a point to prove that we are still here. We are going to win something. I think the Prem is pretty much out of their hands right now. 1-0 extra time. Yeah, I got to go 3-1. Yeah, no, that's a very, very good, very realistic prediction. But I'm a little more optimistic. I got to go 3-1. I think once we go up 1-0 on them, that the house of cards comes falling down, and we can keep hauling off the ball. I don't see them having that much of a plan B, even though they have some of the players to do it. I mean, to me, Turkey is decent, has to show up. Reindeers, okay. Jeremy Doku, ineffective. Bernardo Silva, ineffective. Ineffective. Big up, Doc. So I'm going to go out and say 3-1.
All you guys are ducking me right now, bro. Doctor is ducking me.
Yeah, I think Timber's out for a while.
All running away from me now. They don't want to talk to me again. I mean, they're all running.
Right back.
Yours truly. Come on,
man. No, big up Doc. Big up Mac. Big up Pacers. Big up everyone in the chat.
Hit my chat, bro.
Tony's trying to pick fights with you and BBK, Doc. So Tony's got his boxing gloves on.
BBK, all of them, hit my jack, bro. Let's talk about a show. We have a show running, and you guys are all running away. But it's so good, yeah. I love these brothers to the core, yeah. Pick up to you.
For sure.
My Chronicle says it's Timber finally out. I don't know about that. Oregon,
I think so. Well, Acer said yes. I think he is. I think he is. I think we'll see Mascara at right back. To be honest, I don't think Arteta trusts Ben White much anymore. He pulled him. He pulled him against Everton?
But again, he used him. He used him in the Champions League, though.
Right, but he also got pulled then. So I think there's a long-term injury Ben White is still nursing, to be honest, and I think he's probably out this summer. I think we'll see an exodus of 3 or 4 players this summer, Tony.
This summer,
so
right?
That's another topic for a show. I know you got to run. Thank you, brother, for having me on. Big up everyone in the chat as usual. Much love. Each and one of you are top class people and top class fans, bro. We got the best fan base. I don't give a fuck what the internet says.
Exactly, bro.
But, thanks, Tony.
Big up to the doctor who said, "Matt busy here trying to save the world." TC.
Exactly.
What can I say? I mean, always trying to save the world, my American friend. Oh, including Oregon, trying to save the world.
Right, trying to share peace of the world, yet bombing other nations. But that's a story for a different day. Yeah.
Big up to everyone. T. Thanks for joining me on Oregon Gunner. You see the smoke, yeah. When me and Oregon Gunner want to do it like this, bro, we can bring the heat. It is what it is. That's an Oregon Gunner. Apart from the days when Ola likes popping in, but it is what it is, bro. Catch us next week. Me and Oregon gonna,
On Sunday,
fit into the
after game show, Sunday.
We would see also on Sunday for the post
Yep,
game show
we'll see.
for our
Yep.
celebratory. Bro, we're gonna be celebrating. Yeah, it's gonna be
Hi,
a
Miss
big
Melina.
celebration. We're gonna be partying. Miss Melina is down here. We're gonna be partying. Me, Oregon,
We,
come join
we
us,
bring
bro.
a panel.
haven't
We
won
do
the
a panel
trophy
show
since
on Sunday's
1993.
results.
Exactly. So, me and Oregon gonna be partying down here, people. So, come join us on
We'll be
the day.
partying down
And
here.
people join me after the show for the show with Josh.
Yep.
Freaks Footy Fact. Join me now, people. From me and Oregon, we are out, people. Big
We're
up to
out.
Miss Melina. Love you always.